All right, this is the Lundquist Real Estate Podcast. My name is Keanu Rish. We're here with Rob Boogar with Media Outfitters. Uh, the man, the myth, the legend does pretty much all of our videography and photography. Um, we kind of have a couple of bullet points we're going to talk about today. We're going to briefly kind of talk about what's new with our lives. Um, and then from there, we're going to talk about how the home selling process works, what to expect, how to prepare for that, because there's a lot to it when you are selling a home. And then we have two more points after that: photography and videography. It's only it's only right to touch on that with Rob here, who does most of all of the photography for real estate in Wabash County. So, Rob, start us off. What's new with you?
Oh, you want me to start? Okay. Nothing's really new. I'm just really busy. It's in the busy part of our season right now. And so real estate's kind of coming in waves. I'll have a ton of listings in one week, and then I'll have three the next week. And then not a lot of video. Working on a lot of, I've got a lot of large grant projects and stuff because I do stuff outside of real estate too. But yeah, I don't know, nothing really new. Kids are busy,
Yeah.
traveling on trips, and yeah, my wife's working every day, and I don't really know. There's probably 100 things I could update, but I don't know what to narrow it
Yeah.
down to.
You got any like favorite grant projects that? Because I know you've talked to me about your grant projects. It sounds like you're invested in them, and it's fulfilling for you to see like their success. You got anything that you're working on that you can talk about?
I'm working on a grant project that is a video series that's going to be distributed to 28 universities in the state of Indiana.
Okay.
That will be a resource for college age students to better better cope and prepare and manage any sort of mental health stress that they might have.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of what happens in each of the grant projects is I typically learn a lot of things that I didn't know existed.
Okay.
And being 44 years old, I realized some of the time I realized that, oh, I dealt with that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and nobody was there to help me through it. The resources were there,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't as nearly available, I believe, from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
as it is now. And now there's like this rush trying to get people to the help, you
Yeah.
know?
And grant funds help with that, right? When you got
Yeah.
somebody who's putting the money up front, it makes it more feasible to provide those services.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No,
All right.
no.
Well, so I'm trying to think of what's new with me. Uh, Henry's still new. He's only 7 months old. That's my son. He's got he's popping a couple teeth, and so he's in that phase of life where he's crying, and Olivia's getting up with him a lot in the middle of the night, and so that's consuming a lot of my proactive time when I go out and where I would typically go look at houses, uh, help John or Bob with the listing, or go uh, generate leads. A lot of my family time is kind of consumed that, and that's okay. Like I'm perfectly fine. I mean, what in the list of priorities, my family will always come first. Um, but it has consumed a lot of that lead generation time. But uh, at the moment, I still have two active listings. We have Markle. I think it's 7 acres. Um, that butts up next to Roush Lake. It's beautiful. It's heavy timber. The home needs a little bit of work, but it's gonna be an awesome property for somebody who buys it and remodels it. And then Hawthorne Street, it's a vacant lot. It's got a pad and it's got all the utilities there. Um, Both of those are under contract. So Markle is scheduled to close on August 1st. So that's coming up. And then Hawthorne, that should close relatively quickly. And I have both sides of Hawthorne Street, so it should be a pretty smooth transaction. There's not a lot there. So that's exciting that we're going to finally get those properties closed. I'm trying to think what's new. I'm looking at some continuing ed options because next year will be the end of that cycle for me where I have to get my continuing ed. So I'm trying to determine what I want to invest that time in, whether it's, you know, so I took a buyer broker course to help tailor it towards to give me more training when I'm working with buyers. I think the next one I'm going to tackle is like a listing agent course. and it should give me more tools, more resources, should help me refine and hone that skill of working with listing uh, uh, sellers.
So you can choose on your continuing ed what you want to move forward with.
Yeah, so there's like minimum requirements.
Right.
You have to hit this and this, and I'm trying. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. But as long as you meet those, as long as you hit those minimum requirements, you can direct the rest of your hours where you please.
But you have to you have to complete a certain amount of hours
Correct.
to continue with your license. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, I want to say it's 36.
Hours?
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a lot.
I think it comes down to 12 hours a year of continuing ed, which really is not a lot when you really think about it.
not
It's
over the
nothing,
4
and I
years.
think it's over the course of 3 years, so 36 hours in 3 years. But I
Can you
could
wait
be
3
mistaken.
years to do all of your?
Yeah, you can.
So you can just
You can do it
last
all.
minute
You
all of
could.
it.
You could just take
Oh,
a week
man.
and do all of it in 1 week.
Can you
That's
do
not-
it over the course of the 3 years, or
Yeah.
do you?
That's
yeah?
just what I would rather. This is what I prefer to do.
Okay. Yeah.
And this way, because each course, when you have a host and they're hosting these trainings, they know a lot of these agents. They're just trying to get their minimum hours in, and so they're going to touch the required topics, so those agents don't have to go to more education than what they have to, if that makes any sense. So,
Is there a subject matter in your training that a lot of commonly agents typically don't go to that you could capitalize on, that not a lot of, like, is there a subject matter that not a lot of agents choose to educate themselves on in continuing ed, or can you not really track it like that?
so you can. There's a couple of things here. So the agents who have the most certifications are the lifelong agents. They're the agents who've been doing it for 20 years. Bob Lundquist, Christy Lundquist, they have like nearly every certification out there because they've been doing it forever and they're good realtors. And it doesn't make sense to just to go get the minimum when you can go do a little bit more and get certifications, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're distinguished. And so I plan on being in real estate until I die because I enjoy it. I feel fulfilled from it. I feel like I can help people. I can be authentic.
Yeah.
And so I plan on getting those certifications over the next 20 years. But if I get one per year, then I should max out. I think there may be 12 to 14 certifications. There's a land specialist. There's a residential specialist. There's a buying agent specialist. There's a listing agent specialist. So there's a media certification. So there's a social media. I apologize. Those are both the same, but there's lots of different areas where you can tailor in. And so I just plan on accumulating those throughout the years. No humongous push, but probably one per year is what I would think. I feel like that's a pretty attainable goal without subtracting away from my lead generation time.
Yeah. Okay, enough about training.
Yeah. That was like a whole tangent rabbit trail.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to ask questions.
Yeah. So so we're going to talk about the home selling process, how to prep, photography, videography. So how the home selling process works is, all right, let's say you're selling your house, Rob. Let's say you're going to move to Florida. So now you have to find an agent down in Florida. My suggestion to you, the very first thing I would start is, what is your budget, is the very place I would start.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes, go ahead.
Why can't you be my agent down in Florida?
Because I'm not licensed in Florida. So most agents have to be licensed in the state they are representing clients in. So in Indiana, you have to have a license in Indiana. In Florida, you have to have a license in Florida. Now, some states will honor my education and my training here in Indiana, and they will grant me a license if I apply for a license in another state. Other states do not do that. And as a general rule of thumb, I would really discourage clients or prospective buyers or home sellers using an agent that's not from their area, because I won't pound on the table, but specifically because they don't know the market. They don't know who's going to sell in that neighborhood. They don't know who's buying in that neighborhood. What they're doing is they're just taking numbers and crunching it. It's the same thing that Zillow's doing. They don't know the demand. So in Wabash, we just had a landlord earlier this year dump like 10, 15 properties on the market, and it saturated the market. And the prices temporarily kind of took a hit a little bit, because when supply goes up, demand goes down. When demand goes down, price goes down. And so it's imperative that my suggestion, if you have an aunt's cousin's sister who's an agent in Indianapolis and you want to use them, go for it. I would not, because I don't feel like they're going to represent you in the best way possible. They're not up to date with the title companies. They're not up to date. And if they are, great, then use them. But if not, you're not going to get the best representation, right? And that's what you want. You want to protect yourself from liability, and you want somebody who's knowledgeable so they can guide you through the whole process. You don't want to sell your house down in Indianapolis, which is a super hot market,
Right.
for $350,000 if you can get $400,000 on it. Well, that's what the average comparative market analysis told me it was worth. Well, what you weren't accounting for is that they're booked out 6 months for a new build, and this is going to be the only house in this neighborhood that's going to hit the market this year potentially. Yeah. You can sell that house for more, and so it's just important that you use an agent from your area. And I would say, me personally, I would try and use an agent that is inside the county or that focuses on the surrounding counties. That's that I would say that's the norm, but there are exceptions to that.
For the viewers out there, we just took a minute to get a beverage so that we could wake up and hydrate. And if you want to know something, okay?
I'm ready.
If I had a bag of Doritos laying here and you could see the logo, you ready? If you could see the logo and then you monetize this content, you're not allowed to have that logo in it. Doritos, or the company that owns Doritos, could come back and be like, oh, you made money off of our logo.
Yeah.
You think it'd be like, but there's like trademark rights and stuff in there, copyright, trademark, all that stuff. Yeah. So when I travel and film courses and stuff like that, or film for anybody, I got to be careful with the logos for any monetized content.
Really interesting.
Yep. You know that?
I feel like I've seen it before in videos, but I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it, primarily because I don't run a YouTube channel or something else, or a TV channel.
I mean, the odds are Doritos finding our podcast is pretty slim.
Yeah.
But, we might make it big. You never know. So
Maybe. It could be because they're in our podcast.
Yeah. Because they actually, with AI now, they actually have programs, algorithms that go out and look out for their logos in different areas, like Google search and stuff like that. So if they're like, why is our Dorito bag in a monetized piece of content?
Interesting.
Because sometimes just putting something like, I can talk about liquid death even though it's off camera. I have a liquid death sitting right here.
Yeah.
But I can't put it in the video if it's monetized. Now, these aren't monetized yet, but one day they could be. And then a video you filmed 3 years ago for the Lundquist podcast could be.
That's right. You guys got to soak up this free content right now, because it may not be free in the future.
Do we want to talk about conspiracy theories?
I mean, we could. What do you want to talk about conspiracy theory wise?
No,
I had the lead-based paint conspiracy theory. Wi-Fi routers.
That could be tied to real estate.
It absolutely could be.
Oh, man.
That's right around the time it would have happened, where they can paint the whole house with a Wi-Fi router signal, and then they banned lead-based paint, which would have blocked the Wi-Fi signal.
What?
Have you never heard of this?
Okay, I know, but
paint the whole house like a live photo, or a live video.
I'm gonna add to it. Go ahead.
With a Wi-Fi router.
Yeah.
And then around the same time, they banned lead-based paint.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Have you heard the conspiracy about the Amazon Alexas, like the Echo Dots and the Echoes and stuff like that?
No.
That's what they're doing.
What are they?
You know how they're like, oh, put an Amazon Echo in every room, because it's painting with the Wi-Fi, and it's like it knows where everything is and knows where you are in your house and everything.
I believe that. The biggest piece of spyware is
I
this
saw
right
that.
here.
I
This
saw
is
that
the
on the
biggest
Sean
piece of
Ryan
spyware.
podcast. I was
Spyware.
like, the title of this one will be on YouTube. It'll say episode whatever number, and it'll say go on a journey of derailment with Keanu and ADHD Rob.
All right.
These are gonna be such amazing little shorts. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Ava's gonna be like, I am not posting that. I mean,
Christ is king.
yes,
Okay?
100%.
Christ is
Absolutely.
king. Dead serious.
And Ava, make sure you post these. This is awesome.
All right. So
Okay.
the home selling process,
Back to business.
the very first thing when it comes to getting ready to sell your home or buying a house is financing, realtor, and then you're going to take tips and tricks from your realtor, guidance, market. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? And then you're going to work through that with your realtor. And choose wisely on your realtor and choose wisely on your loan officer. Choose a loan officer that's in your area. My suggestion is do not choose one from some state, from states away. Choose a local one that knows the market. They're going to be able to give you better, more tailored advice. Going to home prep, I would focus on decluttering, odors. If you have cats in your house, has a slight or strong or overwhelming ammonia smell, I would do whatever it takes to get that out of there. It does affect the value or the sellability. Go ahead, Rob.
So, side note, though, what I've noticed being in a lot of homes is that a lot of people who have those odors don't realize how strong the odor actually is.
Yep.
And whoever's visiting these homes and are friends with these folks, you need to be honest with your people.
Yes, you need to be honest with them and listen to your agent.
The people that are visiting, you know exactly what their house smells like.
Yeah. Listen to your agent.
Telling them.
If your agent says the house stinks, or if they say it in more polite terms, the house has an ammonia smell, that's probably code for it smells bad, and you need to. You have several options. Febreze, or a better option would be an ozone machine. They're like $80 off Amazon.
Or you can rent them. You can rent the bigger ones that'll do the whole house.
Yeah, you can go to True Value, Do It Best, and rent an ozone machine, and it will eliminate the odor. I just had a friend, I won't say who, but he got a piece of furniture from a subject, and I don't want to go too much in depth.
From a subject? What does that mean?
So I'm trying not to out anybody here.
Oh, okay.
But they got a piece of furniture and it had an odor to it, and now they're trying to figure out how to get this odor out, and they're going to probably end up renting a ozone machine from Do It Best in Wabash, which is a great option. It's 20, 15. I don't know how much it is. I wouldn't think it's more than like $50, but that typically works for eliminating those odors.
Yeah, I don't want to mention AA Rents in Marion too, but I could also rent it. You know,
Okay.
AA Rents in Marion rents them too.
AA Rents and Marion rents them.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
But I won't mention them because this is a Wabash podcast.
Or
So I won't mention AA Rents in Marion.
But if you know anybody who's buying or selling a house in Marion, just let me know because I'll travel to the surrounding counties.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So
actually, it probably was a bad plug because now any realtor that I work for in Marion and Grant County is going to be like, why didn't you bring us up?
Yeah. So moving on to prepping, right? So you have decluttering. It's a huge one. Odors. Clean your house. I don't mean this in. So what I hear from buyers is they'll go and sellers. A seller will tell me, "Hey, Keanu, we deep cleaned the house. We mopped the floors. We wiped out the cabinets. We tried really hard to leave it nice for them because we know that's what we would want." And then the seller comes, I apologize, the buyer will come to me and they'll say, "Yeah, this house was a disaster. I don't know what they lived like, but there was dust everywhere. When I bought my house, this is just the nature of the beast. I walked in, they said they shampooed the carpets, and I believe they did, but there was dog hair around every crack of the room. It's just normal. People live in homes, there's furniture down. They don't get it quite as clean, and when somebody walks into a cleaned house, they see more dirt. It's just normal. And so my suggestion for sellers and buyers alike, if you're buying a home, just kind of, I mean, expect it. We'll always ask for them to leave it clean, but kind of expect it not to be perfect. And for sellers, scrub it. It's going to help pull more dollars for your house. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, I got a thought on where you were talking about seeing the dog hair in the
Yep.
edges in the corner, but you don't see it anywhere else. Okay, as a photographer, I am shooting these listings. I'm very detailed. I see everything. Okay, and the things that over the years, what I've learned to look for is the when a this is how I explain it. When a buyer comes in to take a tour of your home when it's on the market. Again, I'm not a realtor. This is my perspective as the guy who's supposed to photograph it and make it look great online, right?
Yep.
What I've noticed is, in a lot of feedback, is your house could be completely clean. It could be a house that the sellers typically have spotless all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have cobwebs in the corners, if you have an air return grate in your wall or your ceiling, which if you don't know what that is, that's the air return grate for your HVAC system, if you have one. There will be dust on that, dust on the ceiling fan blades, because a lot of people leave them on and don't. Yep. Or spots and smudges and handprints and dust on your TVs specifically. My cameras will absolutely pick up all of those details. And the reason I'm mentioning those things specifically, this is something I've held in for like years, right? I'm like
right here at the chest.
We gotta let it out. It's like, it's not that your house is dirty when they're selling their home. It's not that like they have a dirty home, right? It's that those are areas that a lot of homeowners, when they're selling their home and then I walk in, I notice that that's one thing they never touch. Well, what happens is, and again, this is based on a lot of feedback that I get from agents, them talking to me casually about, the showings and previous listings and stuff like that, is sellers will come in, and if you're going to spend, a home is the largest purchase that someone will ever make, right?
Yep.
In our market,
and oftentimes only one time.
Yeah, the only time, right? And so they are nitpicking everything, and so they see the dust on the air return vent, and then where a lot of times where their mind goes is they think, oh, that dust was all over the house a week ago. They only cleaned it up because they're trying to sell their house, even though it might look perfect. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like, that's the stuff I see. The dirty, learn how to clean your TVs. I'm sorry if that sounds critical, because a lot of people don't know how to clean your TVs.
Yep.
Your big screen, you got a 95-inch TV. That's a giant semi-reflective surface.
Yeah.
That natural light is probably coming in, and it's going to enhance those smudges and the dust and the fingerprints. I know little kids put their hands on it and stuff like that. I got teenagers that still put their hands on the TV, and I'm like, why do you do that? You're 16 years old. Stop putting your handprints on the TV. Anyways, that's another podcast. But that's with your family podcast, maybe.
Yeah. There we go. Touch on this.
Ooh, little plug there. Anyways, but yeah, it's just those little things. So I typically find myself telling the sellers with the agent there. I'll always mention it to the agent, and the agents know. But the agents are thinking of 150 things to try to sell a home, where I only have to worry about the look.
Yep.
That's it. And so I'll notice these details and stuff. And it's like, it's not a big deal. Go get a Swiffer duster, hit that grate that's in your ceiling or on your wall for the air return. If you have a 2-story home, there's typically one on each floor,
Go pull it down, unscrew it, go take it to the shower, spray it out, wipe it off.
Yeah. Simple.
It's a little bit extra, but it does do it's a world of difference.
Yep. I got more to say, but I'll just keep it there. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So clean, declutter, keep the outside of the house well maintained. Clean the gutters. These are all free things that you can do for the most part. Clean the gutters, mow the yard, weed whack, pull weeds in the landscaping. If you are if you say, hey, I don't have an extra $2,500 to invest in a back porch or new flooring, well, what you probably do have is 30 minutes between, work and dinner that you can go pull weeds, or 30 minutes here or there that you can go wipe down the cobwebs in the garage. and that equates to more dollars in your wallet. It absolutely does, and it equates to less days on the market. And so when it comes to prepping, clean, 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 mow your yard, have nice lines, have nice edges, have clean gardens, have a clean sink. Don't leave food in the sink. And this is a lot, and I know it's super overwhelming for a lot of sellers. I know it's overwhelming. They're selling for a reason. Is it because they are struggling to maintain the property? Is it because they are older? Is it because they have 6 kids and they have outgrown the space and now you're trying to tell them that the coloring on the wall that's been there for the last 2 years needs to get painted over, and while one kid's sitting in a dirty diaper while she's trying to cook dinner? Like, this is life, this is reality. And let me just say, if your realtor says, look, you're paying me for a reason, let me come over there and wipe the crown off the wall, let them help. Like, we are here. Not every realtor is going to do this. I will help where I can because I pride myself. I enjoy serving people, is what it is, and I get fulfillment from getting somebody to. There's this big overwhelming task of having to move to, oh my goodness, I'm in my dream home, or oh, or thank goodness I was able to sell my property. I was really struggling to make ends meet. And so that's where I get fulfillment. So if I offer to help, it's because I see some place where I can add value. Um, and so my suggestion is accept your realtor's offer to help, especially because he may be offering because he knows he can put more money in your pocket in doing so. So those are my biggest tips. What about photography? So on to point 2 or 3. What about photography? What are your tips? What do you enjoy? What are things like, maybe do you have a good story when it comes to photography? Something you noticed after you got back to the office and you were editing it and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't see that in the photo. Is there anything that sticks out to
Yeah,
you?
the thing I catch the most when I'm doing photos for a listing that I didn't see or notice was in the photo was me, was myself in a mirror. You know, they got a decorative mirror like on the wall,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh man, and there I am just, sitting there,
Looking at,
taking the picture, and
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
so funny.
oh my gosh, it happens all the time. It's awesome. Yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, which I take a picture with my cell phone every time I see it. My favorite thing about taking pictures of houses is I can always tell you, I can walk into a home and tell you a few things. It's just 8 years of doing this, 300 plus houses a year. I can tell you, who got their house ready at the last minute, right? One of the tall, you'll get a kick out of this because I know you've seen this plenty of times, is when you open the shower curtain and you see the bathtub full of stuff.
Yeah.
Vacuum cleaner, clothes, hampers, toys, laptop, like there's just 8 million things just stacked up
Work bag.
in the, yeah, you know what I mean? Like boots and shoes, stuff that they have like laying around the house. I love, it's so funny. And they'll just stuff everything and then they'll close the shower curtain like, oh, we're never going to see it.
Yeah.
But usually when I do a floor plan, I have to scan that and I open it up and I go, well, look what we have here.
Guilty as charged.
And then, yeah, so that always happens. Or when like people stuff their closets up to the max, and it's always the bedroom closets.
Yeah.
Because their kids have like a lot of stuff, so they'll be like head to toe, or floor to ceiling stuff. Just, and then they're always bifold doors.
Oh yeah.
And they don't open right away, and you're like, like what's happening?
Yeah, there's
and
stuff falling on the inside of them, and they're just on this little rinky dinky.
It's always like blankets, clothes, toys, baby gates,
shoes.
Like it's always, stuff that's just like they're like, oh, we can stack this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And it collapses down.
Yeah, but for the photo, it works. But then when and the funny thing is seeing the looks on people's faces when I tell them when I'm doing a floor plan scan. When I do a floor plan scan, I'm doing a blueprint of the home with measurements and everything. So it's creating like a blueprint of the existing home, the layout, the walls, the closets. When I tell them, I will have to scan the inside of the closets and the garage. And then they always look at me and they go, the closets. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
How much stuff did you stuff in this closet
Yeah.
to make it look good?
And I would like to note that, so I also work for a sheriff's department full-time on third shift. And homes can be a little, it can cause people some anxiety when you have somebody coming inside your house and taking photos. So just be aware, your home that I'm in taking photos to sell is not even comparable to the worst home I've been in for my night job. That is horrendous.
All right, give us an example. Give me it.
You don't want an example.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, cockroaches on the wall, cockroaches on the floor, poop in the beds. I'm not joking.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Like,
during
I've
listings.
opened a cabinet and cockroaches scattered. Cockroaches next to beds. I mean, they were horrific. I mean, like, terrible.
I did a house 2 years ago in Wabash, and the realtor and I walked in. It was not a Lundquist realtor.
Mm-hmm.
We walked in, and we were blown away. There were number 2 droppings from the giant dog in the home all over the house. Carpet, hardwood floor, everything.
Yep.
And the guy was like, well, I don't always have time to let my dog out. So the dog just got in the habit of just
Going on the carpet.
crapping on the carpet. I mean, everywhere. And it was like, some of it was still there. It was like dried up. And I'm like, nope, out. I'm out. And if that realtor watches this podcast, they're going to go, I remember that one, And then it's, am I allowed to say this? And then it's those sellers that are like, well, how come my house won't sell? And then they blame the realtor. And it's like, it's because you let your dog crap on the floor and you don't stop it or clean it up. Anyway.
And your home will never compare to something dead. Nothing will compare to a deceased mammal inside of a house that's been there for like an extended period of time. They just want to. There may be food on the floor. There may be food in the sink when I'm coming and I'm taking measurements. We can deal with that stuff later. We can schedule photos a week, a month, 2 weeks out, so you have time to clean. But your home will never compare to anything I've seen during my night job. It won't. So you don't have to worry about it. All right. There's no stress there. And yeah.
Well, I assume in law enforcement, typically people aren't prepared for you to be there.
No.
They don't usually find themselves in situations where they're like, well, I'm about to get in an argument with my wife that's going to turn violent. And we should probably prepare for the sheriff's department to show up.
Yeah, and it's the 4th of July. And
before I get mad at you about this thing that we're going to fight about, we should probably clean the house first.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen like that. I see good people at their worst, and I see the worst people all the time. So, but yeah. So
was that a bad example? Should I not have said that?
No, it's super common. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I would say that's just happens.
I don't want to upset the masses. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's just this realm of reality out there that there's just no getting around.
Actually, I'm doing a project right now. You talked about grant projects earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a project right now where I'm working with a large mental health organization and some of the victims of long-term domestic abuse. Okay. And the things I've learned that occur, the longevity of like how long it can occur and typically does. And like, for instance, I'm not trying to stick on this subject, but did you know statistically, you probably knew this, it takes 7 times for law enforcement to intervene before a victim typically leaves the partner that's abusive?
Yeah, that is not surprising
7
at all.
If I ever did anything to my wife one time, it would take 1 visit. It would be her because she'd already murdered me and buried me in the backyard.
I'll have to get a new media guy.
And then she's got, you won't have a photographer or videographer anymore. And then she's got, 5 siblings, 4 siblings that are all her alibi. Yep, nope, she was with us the entire time.
Should be listening to some one of those female country artists and their psycho country
music. Yeah. What's that song by the Dixie Chicks? Goodbye Earl or something like that?
Goodbye Earl. There's Miranda Lambert. Carrie Underwood cutting up the leather in his seats. There's another one talking about this girl and her best friend committing murder, and they're going down together. I forget. I can't remember the name of the song.
Yeah. I know.
Olivia likes it.
Yeah. Oh no. See?
I'm just joking. I got.
I believe you. I don't know. I feel like I married a good woman, and
Yeah.
I feel like part of the reason, not the main reason, but part of the reason is she's probably terrifying, you know? We have sweet wives. We both do. We have very nice. What, your wife's a nurse?
Yes.
My wife's a nurse.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
And they know things about the anatomy that they could be like, they could probably like arrange our death and we wouldn't even know it.
A giant bolus of insulin while I'm sleeping. We're not giving any ideas.
Hey, take this
here.
orange juice. Looking a little flush there, buddy. I'd be like, oh, okay, if you think so. Yeah, no problem. There's antifreeze in that orange juice.
All right.
Welcome to the derailment
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. This is rabbit trail
With
number
Keanu
27.
and ADHD Rob. I have a question though. I'm dying to ask you though.
Okay.
This is gonna be Ava's gonna die. John's gonna love it.
Okay.
I think John's gonna love this. Okay. I got dying. I know you got a list and stuff, but
No,
I'm like,
we're
okay,
good, we're
this
good.
has been dying. This is, 10, 15 minutes now. I've been like, I want to ask this question. What if? Are there any special? Because people run into this often. Are there any special considerations as a realtor in helping a seller who's moving, and let's say part of maybe one of the biggest reasons they're moving is the neighbors are terrible. Okay? Like what?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What is there to do?
I don't know. Like, what do you do? Like, you know?
So there's a term, it's called puffery in real estate. And
Okay.
I was taught it in my real estate class. And essentially, you just focus on the positives of the property, right? So it's like, hey, this house is beautiful. I mean, you're getting a $300,000 house for $225,000. It's got a new roof, new AC, new windows. It's open concept. It's got a nice neutral color scheme. I mean, and those are the items you focus on. Maybe you don't focus on your neighbor who has 14 junk cars and is blaring ZZ Top at midnight while smoking and in his garage drinking Bush Light. Okay, nothing against Bush Light. All right,
There's nothing wrong with ZZ Top either.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
I
those.
feel like you really threw a lot under the bus there.
Well, it's
but
like part of my culture. Okay, I love ZZ Top.
that's called
and
a
Bush
stereotype.
Light. Well,
Maybe his name's Jimmy, and their mailbox is out by the road, and he only checks his mail with no pants on.
yeah,
You know?
largemouth bass mailbox.
Yeah. Stereotype.
Yeah. You know what? Let me just say, Olivia said no to the largemouth bass mailbox.
God.
All right.
I love it.
Uh,
I think it should be like a old Crown Vic where they open up the trunk and like that's your mailbox.
yeah. But so that's what it is. Is you just kind of
Gotcha.
focus on the positives. There's no negating or avoiding or, for one, it'd be unethical to try and cover or hide something. But you don't need to address the elephant in the room or the elephant. Jimmy in the next yard. He speaks for himself. There's no reason.
Jimmy can keep listening to his ZZ Top and drinking his Bush Light. Is that what you said?
Yep.
But
Yep.
Jimmy, you need to put your pants on.
Yeah.
This is awesome. We've been going for like, I don't even see an end. We're just going to keep going.
What's the time?
3:12. We've been going for like 40 minutes. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I say we just whatever.
It's fun.
Whatever happens, let's go.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's the only thing I got to do today.
All right, favorite video. What's your favorite video that you filmed? And then what do you look forward to filming real estate video wise? Like
What's my favorite video of my
you've
entire
your career. What's the favorite one you filmed? And then what's one that you look forward to doing real estate wise?
Ooh, I don't know if I've ever thought about that.
It's a hard question. I want to know. I like favorites, because
I don't have a specific project, but my favorite type of project, sorry, it's not real estate as far as video, but my favorite type of project is I love storytelling. I love like setting up cameras and lights to listen to someone tell the story of maybe how they built a business, rose from the ashes, or you know what I mean, like
recovering addict or
yeah. The reason why I like that is I know one thing with starting a business and with a lot of things in life, and a lot of people feel this way. You feel like whenever we feel a challenge, you feel like often it's common for people to feel, oh, well, I'm the only one that's ever dealt with this. you know? And so I love the stories and getting them out there with high production quality, because then it's like, hopefully if it touches one person, that's my favorite thing. If it touches one person and they say, oh, I'm dealing with that very, very similar scenario, I'm not the only one. Because sometimes this is taking a turn from our last conversation.
Yeah.
But sometimes the only thing that someone needs to grow in their own life or feel inspired is that one moment where they realize that they're not alone in dealing with it.
Other people have gone through it. You're going to get through it. This may stink right now, but it's not the climax of your life. It's not the focal point. I talk to people all the time, like specifically with OWIs. There's a lot of OWIs out there, good people who make bad decisions. And it's like, this is not the focal point of your life. Your story does not end here. This is a snapshot in time. And everybody makes mistakes, and you have an opportunity to move forward. And I just see so many people that get caught up in this generational. There's a legitimate generational norm, culture, stereotype that bleeds over, and I will never stop trying to encourage those people, because when you stop is when you should stop being a police officer.
I think I'm getting this right, but a very close friend of mine, who's kind of a leader in my community, said, you're never as bad as the worst thing you ever did. You're not as bad as the worst decision you ever made. You know what I mean? And so I remember hearing that, and I didn't tell him this, but I thought, oh man, that's so true.
Yeah.
You know? And then, what's the first thing you think of? The worst thing you've ever done, right?
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I was in my early 20s or something, and I'm like, yeah. I was going to make a joke, but I'm good.
Yeah. Integrity is everything. I mean, it's your whole reputation.
Yeah.
And you need to fight for it and protect your integrity and not do questionable stuff and walk the straight and narrow and be honest and tell the truth and stand up for what's right. And when there's something that's wrong, you need to make it known, right? I was told this in high school. All it takes for evil to triumph is good men to do nothing. And men, that rolls over to women too. That's unisex. All it takes for evil to triumph is good men to do nothing. You have got to take a stand. If everybody folds, then there is no line. There is no right and wrong.
Yep.
It's just going to keep going. You have got to stand up for what's right. And that's it. That's in real estate. That's in whatever career field you are that you are in, whether it's a factory, whether you're a lineman, whether you're in mental health services, whether you're working in the medical field, whether you're in media. It is your responsibility as an American, as a father, as a husband, to stand up for what's right and to lead and be patient and soft-spoken. But we've really kind of...
I'm going to circle back around with that message, and I'm going to just say this. Back to real estate, okay? I work for a lot of agents. Most of the agents that I work for, I would say 99%, care about their buyers and sellers and the process and protecting their clients. I would say 99%. Typically, and there are, just like any other career, there are agents out there that are only worried about the money, right? And sometimes those agents are the ones who are the most popular, which is wild to me. But whatever, that's another podcast. But
media does wonders.
Don't say too much. But most of the agents that are just like I would classify in general as greedy don't work for me, or I don't work for them. I think that there's just a balance there because I care about your media for your listings looking good and make it, one, it helps you look good. Your sellers are happy, and it makes me look good, and I do a good job. So,
yeah. And I live by this. I just had it happen here recently. There's a 500-pound gorilla in Wabash. Okay, it's a compliment. they move a lot of real estate. I had a client switch over and use them, and they were underneath contract with me, and they bought a property, and they owed me 2%. They owed me, and maybe you can edit that number, that figure out. They owed me a commission, and I let it go. I congratulated them, and because I sincerely I'm happy for them, and I understand they have to do what's best for their family, and it's just the way it worked out. So that's the important thing, is that you get a agent with your best interest in mind. And it's always, I think there's some truth to this. If you enjoy what you do, you will excel in it. And that's it. I think that's the premise, is choose a agent that has integrity, that shares your morals, that's from your area, and go with them, trust their opinion. And I would, if you are with an agent in Wabash and you think they have legitimate, you think their morals are good, and there's a hiccup, give them grace. So don't just jump to the conclusion, because there's a lot of things that factor into it, right? Is there going to be more houses comparable to this? What happened? Was this the seller's fault? Was it the buyer's fault? Was this a unpreventable circumstance? And so instead of jumping straight to that conclusion, maybe just go to that person and say, what happened? I don't understand. Mm-hmm. And what happened? And then try and work through them, because these realtors, they have a lot invested. That client, I worked with them heavily. I think I wrote at least 2 or 3 purchase agreements, multiple, probably on 2 hands, counter offers for them. Went and showed the properties, all 3 of the properties, multiple times. It was 3 purchase agreements with multiple counter offers. I want to say on almost all 3 purchase agreements. And a realtor has a lot invested. And so when you jump ship and go to another agent, you should just be aware of the consequences. We get paid by commission, so we don't get a paycheck. We are working pro bono up until the time you close on that property. So I didn't get paid for, at least minimum 6, probably 15 showings is probably what I actually had invested in these people. And they're good. It's a good family, respectable. I had probably 15 showings wrapped up into them, multiple counter offers, and just like that. I probably had over 40 hours invested, and it's just time gone, poof. And it's like, loyalty matters, and you should choose an agent that's going to represent you in a good light. And that I could have held them. I could have made that buyer pay me that commission. I could have made him pay me that commission, and I didn't. Why? Because I don't want to be known as that agent.
I think,
and there's a balance there, but that's the goal, is to strive to hit that balance every single time.
But I think it's just important to also reinforce that I have seen you fight for your clients before. So I know you're really, really good at keeping their, humans make mistakes. Mm-hmm. We need that grace. But there's also I would say, just in what I've seen in 8 years of doing this, as a seller or a buyer, let your agent fight for you as well. Let them. The grace also comes from you letting them do their job.
Yep.
Yep.
So, and
4 minutes
left.
Yeah. I'm running out of time on the card.
Oh, okay.
We're already at 57 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So wrapping up is listen to your agent. If they tell you that an offer is too low, that they think they know the seller, they know the listing agent, if they think the offer is too low, heed their advice. Just pick a good agent and listen to them. If it's me, great. If it's not me, it doesn't matter. There's a ton of great agents in Wabash, specifically at the Lundquist office. I think we have the best. But there's
no bias there. Absolutely none.
What we are. So Thank you for listening to the podcast. I had a blast talking to you, Rob, and hopefully you guys have some tips to take. When you are going through the process, get your financing figured out first. Pick an agent. Declutter your house, clean your house, maintain the landscaping. Rob, do you have anything to add to wrap up?
No. Trust your agent.
All right.
And make sure they hire a professional photographer for your listings. Don't let them use their iPhone.
Yeah, if your agent's using their iPhone, go find a new agent. I'm being sincere. Just call me. Thank you for listening.